Hello, everybody. I'm sorry if it's windy out here. It's just windy today, but this has been like the first cool day in a really long time. So I didn't want to be stuck inside the car. So I've got my tripod out here and I'm in a parking lot next to a field. I hope you enjoy the outdoors. Um, but I'm here because I wanted to talk about why it has been so long since I've done a video because it has been a long time. It's been over a month that I've been MIA, and I feel like you guys are owed an explanation, and so I'm going to tell you why. And it actually has nothing to do with like any personal issues I'm having, any kind of dissatisfaction with YouTube, even though there's always a reason to hate YouTube. It has everything to do with SM. So let me begin the tale. Shortly after I did my YG video, I was thinking about what my next video was going to be about. And then, of course, the announcement goes out that SHINee is having a comeback using the song that Jonghyun wrote for the group. Then it is announced that Jonghyun's voice is going to be on the song. Then it is announced that they will be releasing a Jonghyun version of the SHINee comeback. Let me just say, for somebody who hasn't collected K-pop in a year, I was more excited than is normal. Like I was like, I'm buying every single version. Everything's gonna come to me. I've got to have it. I will have it. This is my Roman Empire. So on, I want to say the first day of pre-orders, I tried to order a copy from the SM store, and baby, when I tell you, I was going to order one version of the album. I just wanted to make sure I got Jonghyun's version of the album. They wanted, I'm not even kidding you, $70 for shipping. 70, like 70 American dollars to ship the album from Korea to me. I couldn't do it. So then I decided, hey, it's been a long time since I've done any K-pop shopping. I haven't done any shopping from two particular stores in a really long time. I'm going to order from these stores. So I ordered from Choice Music here in the United States, and then I ordered from K-Town for You in Korea. Now, I have a storied history with K-Town for You, and if any of you have ever followed my channel, you know that I've had issues with K-Town for You sending me wrong versions of albums and then asking me to pay for a replacement, which I did not pay for. Luckily, they made it right and they ended up giving it to me for free. I have had issues with just things not arriving when they're supposed to. A lot of stuff has happened with me and K-Town for You. Sorry, there were some ants on the ground, and I did not want them to bite me. There's been a lot of things that have happened with me and K-Town for You over the years that I've been like, I don't know if I trust them. But to be fair, they are the largest K-pop purveyor probably in the world. Like when it comes to selling albums, they sell sometimes close to 1 million copies of singular albums. So I felt like this is the time to see, have things changed with K-Town for You? Are they better? Are they different? I don't know. It's been so long. So I ordered from them. Then the next thing I decided to do was break up my order. So because I didn't want to buy doubles of every single thing, I ordered two different groupings of things. I ordered all of the doll plushie versions of the albums from K-Town for You. Then I went and I ordered all of the hard copy albums and one of the concert goods from Choice Music. And I told myself I was not going to get on this camera again until all of my items came in because it would give me a chance to talk about the music. It would give me a chance to talk about the packaging. It would give me a chance to talk about the concert. It would give me a chance to talk about all of those things all in one video. So I waited, and the concerts happened, and I waited, and people were unboxing their albums, and I waited. And I started getting emails around the end of May telling me, hey, the stock is not good, so we're waiting for more stock. Then I got an email at I think the beginning of June from K-Town for You saying we should have stuff shipping in the next couple of weeks. I got an email from Choice Music on June the 10th telling me that my items would ship next week. I finally have received the first item of all of the things I ordered, and it is my order from K-Town for You. It arrived to my home last night. Last night, it arrived to my home. This is the package I received from K-Town for You. As you can probably tell, there are five plushies here. I have waited for these plushies since I placed the order on May the 20th, and the comeback happened on May the 25th. And it is now, like I said, it's been months. And finally, I have got these plushies. So I'm unboxing these in front of you. The only thing I did was cut some of the plastic wrap. I haven't taken anything out of here. So this is the first time I'm seeing these, first time you're seeing these. Now, I did follow the Twitter shenanigans for these plushies. There have been a lot of things going on. First of all, a lot of people got deformed plushies. They got plushies missing arms, having one long arm and one short arm, having the embroidery on the face being completely messed up. I've seen people who have ordered off of Amazon and they got a plushie and a photo card with no container. So many things have been happening with these plushies. So the fact that they're here is apparently a minor miracle because SM, in all of their wisdom and just absolute abhorrence for Shiny as an entity, decided, oh, there's no reason to have this stock that we allowed people to pre-order, whereas there's no reason to guarantee that these things will be in people's hands in a timely fashion. We'll just make these in between doing ESPA releases and releases for NCT and releases for Rise. Eventually we'll get to all of that shiny stuff that we allowed people to pre-order. So yeah, getting these, I'm not the only person who has suffered this fate, but it pisses me off sincerely because this is my thinking, and you tell me how you feel. In an age of Labubu and all these other things that social media hungers for, and they go for premium prices, SM has to know that you're combining Shiny, a fandom with a bunch of people who have real jobs and are ready to spend real money, with the fact that you have a product that includes someone who is a dearly beloved member of K-pop society, someone who has passed away, and you would think that they would be like, okay, let's make sure we prepare ourselves, that we have guaranteed stock, or at the very minimum, tell all of the companies that you work with, each of you are only allowed to order this much of the product, and after this amount, you have to stop selling. That would be something nice for them to do. But no, SM let companies pre-order as much shit as they wanted to, and then decided, well, it's more than we thought because we thought people didn't give a damn about Shiny or Jungin, but I guess you do, so we'll probably have to order some more copies of this album. And it enrages me. It enrages me. It is so tacky. It is so like lowbrow. It is so beyond disrespectful. It's just such a shit show. And that's what this comeback has been. It has been a shit show. It has been a shit show from the way that these things were made, the fact that there's only 2 songs in this comeback, the fact that apparently the sound has been ultra bad for the concert series. Everything about this has been really bad, and I've been very upset about it. And then, now here we are. Like I said, we're more than a month away from when these things came out. We're almost a month and a half away from when I ordered, and I'm just now getting to do the unboxing. And you might notice I only showed you what I got from K-Town for You. I still haven't gotten anything from Choice Music, even though they told me on June 10th I would have my order next week, that they would be shipping the next week. I haven't gotten shit from them. Nothing. So, yeah, the reason why I've been away from my YouTube channel is because I gave myself an internal vow. I said I was not coming back on this platform until I had something shiny in my fucking hands. And this is what it is. And I finally got it. So, let's look and see what happens. It's windy outside right now, as you can tell from the microphone. So, I'm probably not going to leave everything loose. I'm probably just going to show you what it is and move on. So this is the first one. This is the little yellow baby. Can you see that? That is Taemin's. And the stitching looks decent. From what I can tell, the stitching looks like it's supposed to. So we're going to go in here and see what kind of photo card we got. Also, just in case you don't have the chance to put your hands on one of these, it feels extremely flimsy. Oh my gosh. Okay. There is a clear piece of tape right here, so you can't slide the backing out of the package. And I don't have any scissors. I don't know how I'm going to open this. And there's tape on the bottom too. So I'm not sure how I'm going to open I guess I'll go from the side. I'll go from I don't At this point, I don't even fucking care. Just please, just let me open this thing so I can say that it's open. Oh my God. Okay, so we've got the side open, and let's see. The photo card is in here. There's a couple of things in here. It looks like it's an advertisement, a big card, and a small card. Okay, so we got Taman's photo card for the Taman version. That is nice. And then we got the bigger card of Key holding his plushie there. I think this is the approach I'm going to use for all of these. And then there's a sticker in here, and it looks like it's a pink sticker. No, it's a red sticker. So I got Jongyun's sticker for this one. So that's everything that was in here. And like I said, it's windy, so I'm putting everything back in here, and then I'm going to open the next one. Speaking of Taman, there have been whispers, there have been discussions, there have been uh, internet rumblings about the fact that it appears like Taman has gotten a nose job. Um, I have an opinion on it, and honestly, my opinion doesn't fucking matter. And I say that not to be an asshole about anything. I say it because honestly, Taman is a grown man. Yeah, in my mind, Taman will always be around 17 years old because that was the age he was when he was introduced to me. So that's the age he always is in my mind. But the fact of the matter is, Taman is a grown ass man. He literally has completed his military service. And if he's unhappy with the way he looks, I don't think at this point in his career that people are telling him, you need to get a nose job in order to get famous. You need to do this thing with your facial appearance in order to maintain wealth, attention, everything else. At this point, anything that Taman's doing to his face is really because it's something that he wants to do. Now, do I think that his nose is attractive? In my opinion, it's not what I would do with his face because I thought his face was just fine before. But again, my opinion is that my opinion doesn't matter because he's really super grown. If Taman was a teenager doing this to his face, I would be like, okay, where were the adults? This is irresponsible. His body's not even done growing. But he's been a grown up for a really long time. So if he wants to live like this and he wants to look like this, that really is his business. But at the end of the day, you know, what's his is his, what's mine is mine. This is what he decided to do with his body. That's what he's doing with his body. I just hope that anything that he does doesn't interfere with his ability to breathe because Taman is a dancer and a singer, and he dances and sings for a really long time when he's on stage. And you know, your nose does contribute to breathing. And so I hope that nothing that he does interferes with his ability to perform his craft, not because I'm being selfish, but because I think for him, if he couldn't do what he does for a living, I don't know what the backup plan would be. Maybe he'd go back to school to go to school for like physics, but honestly, I'm not sure. So I'm just hoping that whatever he's doing doesn't affect him being able to live his life. So this is the sticker from the next one that we got, which I believe is Key's version. And it's this little pink baby right here. As you can see, the eyes are wide apart, fetal alcohol syndrome. But I'm not going to be mad at that because it looks like it's got most of its pieces. Is it missing an arm? I think this thing might be missing an arm. Oh my gosh, guys. Let's see here. No, it's not missing an arm. It's just because it's magnetized, the two arms are like grasping each other. So like one arm is in the front and one arm is in the back. Yeah, but all the arms are there. And like I said, the face looks okay. It's a little sloppy, I'll be honest. These kind of remind me of back in the day when fans used to make plushies for idols, and like it would be like a group order, and then the plushie would come in naked, and you had to order clothes for it. It kind of reminds me of that, but because these are on such a smaller scale, they're like more bad. If that makes any sense. Okay, and who do we get? Oh, we got Key for the Key version. That's nice. I wonder if everybody's version has their photo card. Honestly, that would be really nice and that would make a lot of sense. And then look, we got the Mup Days picture as the big picture on this version. Okay, that's cool. Kind of an exchange program, if you will. And of course, we got Jongyun's sticker again. I'm not mad at that. There's a storm coming in soon, so if the wind picks up, That's what's happening. It's because the storm is on its way through. Also, I'm wondering if this does that ear. I know there's like a difference, but I feel like that's kind of extreme. I don't know. I'm just gonna be grateful that it's there. Also, it's got the embroidery in the back that says poet artist. Speaking of poet artist, when I saw that the name of this comeback was poet artist, I almost cried. And I almost cried because I don't know, I feel like people talk about Jungin, but no one talks about Poet Artist, the album. And Poet Artist to me is one of Jungin's strongest collections. Like when I think about all of the albums that he's had, my favorite is still Bass. I think I'll never probably get over Bass. The story ops are also very, very good, and She is a classic. But Poet Artist, you can really tell that at that point in time, Jungin was really like stretching his hands and trying a lot of different things. And, he wasn't letting genre kind of keep him in one place. There was stuff on there that was very kind of, you know, electric synth. There was stuff on there that was pure pop. There was a lot of ballad things, which he's always been known for. Like there was so much depth in that project. But because it was a project that came out posthumously, for a lot of people, it was either too painful for them to visit and listen to the whole thing, or the people who wanted to listen to it and probably could have gotten into it in the future, they didn't get into it because there was no stock. Like it sold out so fast, there were no really reissues of it. So a lot of people just never had the chance to enjoy the music. And so I think about that a lot when I think about poet artists. And in a way, I feel like even though this obviously isn't the original poet artist, I feel like this gives people an opportunity to like think about poet artists. And there's probably people who had forgotten about poet artists. And when they went to go to Spotify to look up poet artists, they're like, oh my gosh, there's this other thing. Maybe this is where the inspiration came from. Maybe I should listen to this album. And I think it's a beautiful thing because it's so easy to forget, over the years, the pain of losing Jungin has, I wouldn't say lessened necessarily, it's just become not as sharp, you know? But at the same time, it's one of those things where I still want people to think of him. I still want people to know who he is. I still want people to appreciate the art. And there's just not as many opportunities to have people enjoy the art nowadays because when do you get to mention it? When do people mention bass? There's been no TikTok trends to get people to listen to Hallelujah. There's been no TikTok trends to get people to listen to She Is. And so, yeah, it's there's less and less opportunities for people to really think about those albums anymore, other than like diehard Shawwalls are people who are getting into the fandom. But for most of K-pop, that's never really going to be a thing on the top of their list. And then like I've just kind of resigned myself to the fact over the years that for people who don't really care about the music or people who are looking to make a headline, Jonghyun will always be for them that idol that killed themselves, that idol that represents the dark side of K-pop. I hate that it's like that. I don't think it should be like that, and it boils my blood that that is the lasting thing. However, in a way, I also think that sometimes having that out there, not for not for the people who need it to get to their next clickbait article or anything like that, but for the people who need a reference point to establish how they feel and why they feel that way, there's a benefit to this. I'm sure that there's probably somebody who wants to express how close they are to the edge, and maybe they have to use Junghyun's name to invoke the idea that they're not healthy and they're not happy. And if they can't get treatment, or if they can't get attention, or if they can't get whatever else they need, they will be next. And I sometimes wish that maybe Jungin had somebody that he could have referenced and told somebody, this is where I'm at, help me. And there's going to be a lot of idols that we're never going to hear about who've probably made that same sentiment, and somebody has been able to grasp them from the edge of oblivion. And honestly, I don't need to know their names, and I don't necessarily need to know their stories because that's theirs. But if there's one thing that hopefully Junghyun's legacy, as painful as it is sometimes, could be, I hope the legacy would be It's okay to talk to somebody, and if you don't have the words, just let them know you feel like this could be you. And if they understand that at all, then maybe they could save you. So this is the key sticker, and this one is from the Minho version, which is very, very cute. I like it a lot. No, yeah, this is Minho's version. You can't see the face because the tag is in the front because the people who assembled these did not care about placement, and I don't blame them because they're probably being paid like pennies an hour or something to make this. So we've got key sticker. How fitting that we would get key sticker in Minho's version. Minky life forever. And then here is Minho's card because apparently we're getting the member with their version. Like it. My advertisement just flew away. God damn it. This is the reason why I didn't want to do this out here. I'll go chase that down after I'm done being live. And then we got Minho's card. Okay, I like that. All Minho except for the sticker. That's okay. I can live with that. And then I want to see the face on his doll. Okay, his doll looks pretty normal. I'm not mad at this. That's what his doll looks like. Also, I have to say, this comeback has given me an idea for a video that I want to do. I haven't done the video yet, obviously, because I haven't been doing any videos because I've literally been waiting for these things to come in the mail. But I have a video in mind, and these plushies are exactly the visual aid that I need to talk about this. And so I'm not going to tell you ahead of time because I'm sure I'm not the only person who's ever talked about this, but just in case there aren't that many people talking about this, I don't want to give my ideas away. But yeah, these plushies really got me in the mind of thinking of something else that I wanted to talk about when it comes to SM and K-pop in general, but I will save that for later. So I've got two more to open. The next one I have here to open is Onu. And also because there's magnets in here, these albums are trying to stick together. It's so funny. I had to pull Jonghyun and Onu apart. So for those of you who are fans, there you go for the Jonghyun ship. So this is Onu's version, and I don't think it's as deformed as a lot of them are, but that mouth looks very suspect to me. So let's go ahead and open the side here. I think that van that went by earlier was just checking to see what was up, and I think when they saw my camera, they decided to keep moving, which, I should be ashamed of myself being out in public doing this kind of stuff, but I try to be in places where I'm not in anybody's way, so I don't think I have to feel too ashamed. Okay, we got Jonghyun sticker again. So that's three Jonghyun stickers so far. I'm not mad, but it would have been nice to get some variation. And then we've got Onu's card for Onu's album, of course. And then let's see what we've got here. We've got Key's big card. Okay, so hopefully we have Onu's big card in the Jonghyun version because I'd like to have the big card for every single member. That would be really lovely. But if I don't get it, I'm not going to be super mad, but still, it would be nice to have just because, I don't know, I like things even, don't you? And then there's that. So we only have one version left to open, and then we'll have opened all of these. And then, like I said, the photo book version I'm still waiting on in the mail because Choice Music is a bitch. And I want to talk about Minho and how he's been terrorizing the other idols over at SM. I remember when Minho decided to re-sign to SM, even though Taemin and Onu had left. And I told you guys, I understood why Key was staying with SM. And I kind of understood why Minho was staying with SM. And I talked about the fact that, he gets shows and things like that. But what I didn't talk about is that Minho's staying at SM because Minho has a harem of men at SM that he needs to constantly harass. And that's why he couldn't go anywhere because then he wouldn't have access to his boys. So this is Jonghyun's version. I'm almost afraid to touch it, to be honest with you. It is super darling and super cute and everything. But again, like this is probably the last Jonghyun thing I will ever get from SM. So I don't want to do anything to it that could possibly be a problem. Also, I cried when I heard Jonghyun's voice. I have to say, when I first heard the song Poet Artist and they played the bridge, I was like, oh my God, it's his voice. And also, like, there's a moment in, I want to say, the first voice where Onu is singing Jonghyun's or a part that I would have said would be Jonghyun's part, and he sounds very much like Jonghyun, and I was like, "Ooh, chills." But yeah, um, the sticker that comes with Jonghyun's version is Onu's sticker. So really, Jonghyun for the win, right? And then you get the group picture when you get Jonghyun's version. And I got the big picture for Onu, so I got everybody's big picture. I'm super excited about that. All right, come through. So, not everything about this was terrible. I have to give it to SM. At least they gave me something to look forward to. But yeah, I'm very happy about that. But I'm gonna wait until I have an actual like exacto knife to cut these tapes, only because this is something that I don't think I could afford to replace if I fuck this up. So I'm not going to use my car keys or anything to open it because I just don't want to mess things up. It's taken me so long to get them. I can't afford to do anything that's going to put everything in danger. So yeah, there's that. But let's talk about Minho harassing other idols. There's ants coming my way, and I might have to leave soon, but that's okay. I've been live for a while, so it's fine. But yeah, Minho apparently, being SM's resident jock, decided to invite Kai to go to the gym or go running. I forget what it was now. But Kai was like, Minho is a beast, and I'm not going to do this shit with him anymore because it's too much. This is not normal. This is not working out. This is somebody trying to be a triathlete. And then there was a video of Minho in London, and I think he's running with Chungmin, he's running with Johnny, I think he's running with somebody else. Anyway, apparently idols have been dropping like flies around this man. They don't want to go out running with him again because he runs too hard. And now he's doing videos where he's calling out different idols saying, please come run with Hung. Please come run with your boy. Please come hang out with your friend. Meet me in the gym. If Minho wasn't still on SM, this wouldn't have happened. So I now get the reason why Minho's like, I'm never leaving this label. He's never leaving this label because he's like, I have to have access to these boys. I have to have my soccer team full of people. I never really thought that much about how Minho felt about the military because I always assumed he probably enjoyed being in the military. I mean, he chose to be a Marine. He didn't have to be, he chose to be a Marine. But the more I think about it, Minho probably loved being in the military because he got to hang out with dudes all day, fucking exercising all day long and getting information and having excellent posture. Probably all things that he loves to do. Minho is he's such a he's such a weirdo. Like he's a good guy, don't get me wrong, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him. I'm just saying like he is somebody who if he wasn't an idol would be a general in the military right now because he likes regimentation, he likes physical fitness, he likes order, he likes organized sports. Like that he would be thriving in that environment. So I imagine for him, it's like, yeah, I like the military. There was nothing wrong with my service. It was probably a nice break from being an idol. So yeah, when I think about him, I'm like, I can see why he chose what he chose, and I can see why he stayed with SM because honestly, he's he's the old-fashioned definition of what they used to call a company man. A company man is the type of guy where he's like, once he joins a company, yes, his dad is a soccer coach. But once he joins a company, he has no desire to look for another job. He's not trying to get more money. He's not trying to get, uh, more fame or glory. He dedicates his life to being a member of that company, and the company is his identity. And for Minho, I really think he bleeds SM. I think that is his identity. I think they got him at a time when he was really young and growing up with all of the different idols, growing up as like the baby boy around girls' generation and growing up being coddled and comforted by TVXQ and everything else. I don't think there's anywhere else that Minho would rather be in life. I think that is where his heart belongs, and he'll be on SM as long as Kangta is on SM. Like I think he'll just be there into his 40s and 50s, and eventually he'll go from being an artist to being somebody who helps idols with like social training and stuff like that. Like he'll probably be the idol fitness coach. He'll find a way to have a job in the building. But yeah, it's just been funny because, whenever people say that Minho is Chinese cheerleader, a role that he took over for Jongin, everybody kind of doesn't understand. It's not that Minho is Shiny's cheerleader because Shiny, is so special to him. Yes, Shiny is special to him, but the fact of the matter is Minho is Shiny's cheerleader because he's already on the team. So to him, this is just another way to support the team. He's like, if it's a solo, I'm not supposed to be on stage, so I'm going to the concert to support my teammates. So Minho's just a team guy. And when you're a team guy, being in a place like SM is just a place to be because it's a much larger team. And that's his personality. So it's really nice to kind of see where his team ethic goes when it's outside of the group. But yeah, this is everything that I had to show you guys. This is every bit of conversation I had about this topic. And I just wanted to say again, if any of you are worried about me, you don't need to be worried about me. I'm healthy, I'm hale. I'm going on a trip around a month from now. Oh, almost exactly a month from now. I'm going on another road trip. I'm going to try to install a dash cam in my vehicle. That way I can kind of show you guys clips of the road because whenever I go on these road trips, I be filming all the time. Like I filmed some beautiful areas in Utah. I filmed some really pretty areas in northern Colorado. And I have never shown you guys these videos because I didn't do vlogs. I just was filming because the scenery was gorgeous. But I'm making an effort this time because I'm driving from Colorado to Oregon. I'm going to try to film something. But yeah, I'm probably going to film a little something. I'm probably going to make a road playlist because I need to catch up on all of the SM releases. The last time I listened to a huge amount of K-pop was when I did the K-pop top 30 for 2024. So I'm probably going to go through and find like the major releases of 2025 so far and do a listen, put them on my road playlist, download them on my Spotify, and then be able to come back and tell you guys like what songs were the best and what I enjoyed. But in the meantime and in between time, again, like I said, if you're worried about me, just know I'm okay. And I'm sorry that I didn't communicate, but I made a promise to myself that I was going to wait until these albums came to me. And you can blame SM for the reason why it took so long for me to do this video because if they had had the content available for me to do this fucking video, we'd have been talking a month ago. Like literally, we could have been talking a month ago. If we were talking a month ago, that would have been June the 12th, which would have been an appropriate amount of time to wait for an album to come in the mail when you're paying for FedEx 3 day shipping. So also, fuck you, Choice Music. Let me make sure I say that before I leave. The fact that I am showing you guys what I got from K Town for you, but I'm not showing you what I got from Choice Music is because I still haven't gotten shit from Choice Music, and it has now been a month since Choice Music sent me an email saying that they would be shipping my items next week. They sent me an email on June the 10th. You can go to my Twitter, Shawwell360 on Twitter. Actually, Shawwell underscore 360. But you can go to my Twitter and you will see that I post where they sent me an email telling me they were going to send me my stuff in the next week. It has been a month and 2 days since that email. I haven't gotten jack shit from them. So fuck Choice Music forever. I was right about them all along. And, I know there's people out there that live by Choice Music, love Choice Music, would rather go to them than Music Plaza. That's your opinion. My opinion is they don't keep their promises, so they can eat a dick. So thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.